because of the hypocrisy practiced in the church by white so-called liberals. And when my brother William Worthy now wants to know why we reject this white so-called liberal, I'm quite certain he was talking about one of his white so-called liberal friends who was the pastor of that church, who was afraid to let a Muslim come back in there and speak his mind because he can't control the mind of a Muslim. Excuse me if I appear a bit tired. I've been out in Los Angeles. The masses of black people in this country have long reached the decision or come to the conclusion that it's impossible to make a dream out of this nightmare. And the very facts that have been piled up here by the two speakers ahead of me would make me reluctant if I never had heard of Islam. They've been stating against this government and its practices against black people in this country, why I'd rather be dead than to integrate into a society like that. Now, if that is racism, then I'll take the racism. If it's racism to know who my enemy is, if it's racism to know that I'm catching hell from white America, that is condoned and sanctioned and backed and supported by a white government, if that's racism, well, I'll take racism above democracy and Americanism and any other kind of ism you can hand me. Maybe a long time ago, you could have integrated the black masses into a black man. The white press wants to blow up the fact that it was a Muslim, called Negro, that was shot down. Not one, but 7 of them in cold blood by the police. And any time some white liberal wants to jump up in my face and tell me something about the Gestapo tactics that are practiced in Nazi Germany, I'll bust you in your mouth. If that just, please, I want to hear that. Will you cut that out, please? If in the same breath you can't describe the Gestapo tactics that are practiced in Nazi America against black people in this country, day in and day out, north, south, east, and west, you shouldn't open up your white mouth about Germany or South Africa or Portugal or any other country on this earth. The Los Angeles Police Department
What is good, my people? We are live back again with another live broadcast on the forecast. What's good, my brother Oni? Yeah, I'm just coming on here. Really, I'm supposed to be, I guess, going to sleep, but I couldn't. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm up, and I guess I ain't gonna be on here too long because, you know, I don't know. But let me say this first, the things that I say, are, true. That's why I, show things to like back it up. But let me tell you, it is necessary propaganda that is necessary need. It goes on all fronts. You have to be on all fronts. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, just had to give that disclaimer. But like I said, man, I guess I ain't gonna go too deep onto anything right now. You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to come on here for a little bit, before I go to sleep or whatever. Now, again, like I said, I'm going to talk about, politics as usual. But let's start, in your local school systems. I know a lot of y'all have kids in the schools, and it's like February, Black History Month, so you could tell what time of year it is by what goes on out there.
Another story you'll only see on Local 10 News about a growing school controversy.
And tonight, parents at iPrep Academy are being asked to say okay before their children participate in Black History Month events. And Local 10's Hatzel Bello live now in Miami with our exclusive tonight. Hatzel.
So this mom tells us, Calvin, this is not the first time she has to sign a permission slip. In fact, months ago, she said she remembers having to sign a permission slip for her daughter to attend a book fair. Now there's a permission slip, she says, for her daughter to also attend African American History Month activities. She says enough is enough. This has to stop.
I was shocked.
This mom thought she may have misunderstood the document.
So if you don't know, in Florida, that whole thing about Black history. So now they send them permission slips to teach about Black history. Now, I mean, I get the point of view, right? Like where, like, first of all, you don't want them teaching you your history, no way, in the first place. But yeah, I mean, I would say no, I wouldn't even teach them Black history. I would teach us, the real Black history. You know what I'm saying? So no, in fact, I'm good on this white bitch teaching my children. You know what I'm saying?
The permission form is asking parents if they want their kids to participate in class and school-wide presentations showcasing the achievements and recognizing the rich and diverse traditions, histories, and innumerable contributions of the Black communities.
This is a policy that's an extension of a new state board rule.
School board member Steve Gallen says it all has to do with getting parental consent when individuals come on campus, a policy that was just enacted last year in November, an extension of the Parental Bill of Rights.
We have to follow the law. We have to implement the rules that are adopted by the State Board of Education, but we cannot throw the baby out with the bathwater. And we have to square some.
By the way, he was like, I have to say it because he said throw the baby out with the bathwater. Y'all know where that comes from, right? All right, that's a dirty European culture.
Out with the bathwater, and we have to square some obligations we have to academic freedom.
But Gallen is concerned about the unintended consequences this may have on children whose parents choose not to have them attend.
It's a step too far. I mean, this is Black History Month. This is supposed to be a celebration.
FIU professor Marvin Dunn, who's an expert in African American history, says this will create a generation of people who are miseducated when it comes to Black history.
And I think that,
by the way, if you are a professor of Black history and you aren't like, yo, I can't believe, and you're saying I can't believe this, it makes me, I'm not trying to question this brother here. I'm just saying, like, how would you be a professor of, it makes it seem like I'm questioning him, but it's not about him. I'm just saying, how the hell is Black people like, it's 2024, you gonna cause this and duh, that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're supposed to do, actually. It makes actual sense for them, but we don't understand how it doesn't, make sense,
when parents become involved in making that decision, keeping some kids out, some kids in, you have unequal learning.
Once again, he says the governor's
So, like, I don't, teach, I don't want them to know the tactics that, that Turner used. I don't want them to know what's coming. So don't teach them Black history, but make sure you know it and your children know it, the real history. And I'm talking about not the triumphs and all that nonsense, the quote unquote triumphs, I'm talking about like the real history about we will shoot back, you know what I'm saying?
Administration is interfering in the classroom and it's not appropriate and it's having a chilling effect.
The intent of the DeSantis attack on education was to make schools more cautious, to make teachers more cautious about what they taught. And it's working. It's not about banning books necessarily. It's about banning ideas.
It's about keeping you in your place, like how, like you only repeat history if you don't know it. It's like the same thing as like not teaching. Well, I ain't gonna say it's the same thing, but just the modern version of not teaching you how not to read. Like you have to be blind to your history. Number one, you're gonna keep making the same mistakes over and over. Number two, you're going to only know what they want you to know, which is like 6 people in history. And I'm still learning about Black people till this day that stood up for us. That should have been like a Black man or a Black woman teaching me this in 5th grade or something, or 4th grade. You know what I'm saying? I should know all these names by 5th grade, but I don't, because we are still surprised by this.
What they taught. And it's working. It's not about banning books necessarily. It's about banning ideas.
Banning ideas.
So the district emphasizes this has with outside presenters.
any ideas about you Negroes getting out of place? All right, so let's go to this other school. I'm sorry they only interview white people.
Writing a racial slur, a vulgar term, and the name of a hate group on a classroom whiteboard. Parents are sounding off on social media. WFMY News 2's Amber Lake heard from parents and the school. Amber, you talked to a mom of a student who was in that classroom.
That's right, Chad. So a mom of a 10th grader here at Ledford High School says yesterday she received many text messages and phone calls from her son who was at school. She said that her son went to class and saw 3 vulgar words on the whiteboard. Brittany Puckett says her son was absolutely uncomfortable. Puckett says she immediately called the school and spoke with that teacher. She tells me the teacher explained to her that this came from a lesson he teaches that helps students get out of a writer's block. Puckett says the teacher told her class was writing about heroes, and this was supposed to help them get started with their assignment.
Like I say, the story that he was telling me just didn't really make sense, because how do you go from, writing about heroes and the kids are struggling writing about that to, like race.
Now think about it. During Black History Month, they're thinking about heroes and to help with the writer's block.
Writing about that to, like racist statements and, stuff like that. I kind of feel like it's kind of like stirring the pot, or, creating a space where people feel like that's okay. And so it really concerns me. I never would have thought it would have happened at school, especially by a teacher. So it's very concerning.
The executive director of Davis also sent students a message last night.
No, they ain't gonna tell you what the slur was. But anyway, let's just keep going, I guess. Now, this is all in the last couple weeks. I guess 2 weeks.
Now, a special school
Or a
board
week
meeting
and a
is
half,
underway
really.
in the Farmington School District.
It is to address several issues raised by parents and students, including one incident that centers around a teacher's use of a racial slur.
The district sent a letter to parents explaining what happened in the incident. 7 Action News reporter Darren Cunningham spoke with people about what they want to see happen now.
Parents I spoke with say they hope a clear plan of action comes out of the meeting here this evening.
It came to our attention that a teacher had said the N-word in the middle school.
East Middle School in the Farmington Public School District. Thomas Hall is a parent with a child in the district and the president of the Farmington African American Parent Network. According to a letter the principal sent home to parents on
I hope y'all ain't got kids in these schools.
January 26, a teacher used racially insensitive language while disciplining a student for calling another student the N-word. Santoria Shepard, a parent and vice president of the Farmington African American Parent Network, says the use of the N-word by the teacher is verbally abusive and a failure to de-escalate.
There has been excuses for their behavior in terms of the teachers are saying we're repeating it because the kids said, or the kids heard another kid.
Why do Black people always gotta intellectualize everything? They understand it better than we do. It's almost like if you're telling somebody something, somebody who could tell you something in the simplest way is probably, I ain't gonna say smarter, but is a better communicator at least, or have a better understanding of whatever it is than the person who gives you long, explanations that sound quote unquote educated, come on, you ain't gotta go through all of this, you know what I'm saying? We just gotta sound so sophisticated. Listen, maybe if they understand, then they'll change their ways, you know what I'm saying? We'll love that hate right on out of them, I guess.
The kids said, or the kids heard another kid say it. And so what we want is we
gotta educate, we gotta show them how to take baths so they don't throw the baby out with the bathwater no more. Oh, my bad. I'm having flashbacks.
The kids say it. And so what we want is our teachers to be held accountable. This has happened before. This is not a once incident.
In November 2020, the superintendent resigned and accused a board member of harassing him and calling him racist towards Black students and staff. In February 2022, a substitute teacher over at the high school used a racial slur that was caught on tape and triggered a student walkout.
I know they can't control everybody's mouth and thoughts and everything, but however, you can start really enforcing the rules than the policies that you put in place.
One question: how do you enforce somebody not saying it no more? You know what I'm saying? well, some people, oh, we shouldn't say it. No, like you smack them in the mouth. That's the answer. You know what I'm saying? Like you can let them call you that if you want to, because other people, black people, say it. I wouldn't advise it. You know what I'm saying? Because they literally had picnics where they would like gouge out our eyes, cut our tongue off. Cut our fingertips off. You know what I'm saying? Just give us cuts or maybe keep shooting us hundreds of times while holding us over a fire, you know what I'm saying, while, you know what I'm saying, grandma and all of them watch it. And then they would fight over our, you know what I'm saying, genitals, you know what I'm saying? And God, hope it's not a pregnant woman, you know what I'm saying? And that's like the difference between, you know what I'm saying, I think. What up, my brother Bill Gates?
I reached out to the district for comment. The district spokesperson said the superintendent was not available for an interview today. However, I was sent the letter that was sent home to parents. It explains the teacher was removed from the classroom as the district looked into the matter. School board president Dr. Cheryl Blau tells 7 Action News she and the board vice president had just returned from a Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Conference, or DEI, the prior week. During the February 6th school board meeting, she explained
D is a little bit too close to DIE, you know what I'm saying? Diversity, inclusion, and that's why they just ain't put the inclusion, because that's what it is die, you know what I'm saying? Because when it comes to it, we accept other people. Like we ain't splitting between whatever language we was talking in English. We only know English, you know what I'm saying? We only know the stuff that they beat into us, and we fight over it every single day. And then we still send our children to them to have special meetings about teachers calling them the N-word and stuff.
Explained recommendations from the conference that the district has already implemented and continues to implement.
Is DEI training being provided on an ongoing basis to district staff, teachers, principals, and administrators?
Now, either we can say, you know what I'm saying, well, we shouldn't say it ourselves, or, you know what I'm saying, you can enforce it, you know what I'm saying, on whoever says it, if that's the case. But first and foremost, let's start with other people instead of ourselves all the time, because maybe that's all we have the courage to do, is to like, well, go after, like, yo, no, who's ever in the way, but we going after whatever it is that's creating, we're going after the head of it, you know what I'm saying?
In the areas of implicit bias, microaggression, and culturally responsive teaching? Yes.
It's great that you're doing the training, but you have to be trained to say, don't use racial slurs.
We had to change the culture.
In Farmington, Darren Cunningham.
Damn, it's a culture, American culture. How can we change American culture? I know the one and only way to change American culture, which is to okay, all right. So anyway, I go to the next school.
Out against Arrowhead High School
in different parts of the
post
country.
Spread on social media. Our Stephanie Quirk is live. Steph, the school says it's investigating the matter.
Yeah, that's right, Ted. Now, school officials made a statement condemning the post, which includes a photo targeting a group of students with a racial slur. However, parents tell me they
got Down
believe
syndrome
enough
or
is being
something?
done to prevent racism and bullying.
There is no way that I thought that he would have experienced that.
Juanita Norman's son is a freshman at Arrowhead High School.
When I
Like, why is that white girl talking so slow? Anyway.
Is a freshman at Arrowhead High School.
When I first seen the picture, I was upset, but I was really concerned.
Norman is talking about this post, which started circulating among students on social media.
Is that, and those the young ones, you know what I'm saying? The young female hostess, you know what I'm saying? Sitting there talking about in the word table, pointing at the black people, and then the parents like, oh my God, I'm concerned. Like, they're in a majority white school, you know what I'm saying? My cafeteria ain't look nothing like this, you know what I'm saying? If anything, we'd be like, Circle would be like, well, we wouldn't have done that because, you know, but and we ain't know no better. But if anything, it would have been a circle like, oh yeah, a peckerwood table or cracker table or whatever offends them the most table.
Monday.
We thought the picture was him.
It includes a photo circling a group of minority students at lunch with a caption calling it, quote, N-word table. Some of those students are friends of Norman's son.
I still felt like I had a responsibility to do something.
Norman says this isn't the first
Well, it says people in here, y'all say something, but like I said, this ain't even a serious one. I come on here to holler at
time her
y'all.
son has experienced racism from classmates.
He didn't go to school today, so he needed a break.
Arrowhead School released a statement Tuesday calling the post, quote, highly inappropriate and truly disheartening, saying the district has no tolerance for racism.
You know, it's something when you think you're sending your child to a safe environment, and then you find out that environment is really not safe.
While Arrowhead...
Yo, can you believe that? They sent them to this white-ass school in Milwaukee, and now it's tough to find out they're not in a safe environment. Ain't that something?
It's really not safe.
While Arrowhead says it's investigating...
I want to play it one more
Sending
time.
your child to a safe environment, and then you find out that environment is really not safe.
While Arrowhead says it's investigating the matter.
The way that it was said on Facebook was as if they wanted us to be quiet. But
By the way, is Arrowhead like a way of them like talking about like them like killing like what the Indians and stuff?
they wanted us to be quiet. But this is loud. This is disturbing. This is scary.
The Normans believe the school needs to reevaluate.
There needs to be a system in place that will fight for our children.
All right, white girl with Down syndrome. But yeah, there needs to be a statement echoed throughout the centuries, you know what I'm saying? But until I guess we come up with the conclusion that only we can create that said thing. And young children, I hope that you're listening, because adults, we're not gonna do it, you know what I'm saying? We just gonna like try to talk about it, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully we don't pass it down we limit the amount of trauma we pass down to you. But yeah, nobody's going to do it but you, because you don't want to have the conversations that we are going to keep having. So hopefully by your generation, we be good, you know. But anyway, speaking of like the school systems, I'll play because there's other black people I could have played, but I chose not to do that because y'all are probably listening to the white dudes more than you listen to me or anybody else. But speaking of like schools and like why they need you to be like ignorant, you know what I'm saying? Because the only way for them to maintain the society, I know I'll even say the system of white supremacy, but that can only be defined by black inferiority. So they put you into these schools, you know what I'm saying, to instill an inferiority complex within you, or aka the coon chip, install the coon chip into us, you know what I'm saying, and teach us how to be workers, you know what I'm saying. I'll say workers since y'all don't want me to say the S word, you know what I'm saying. But they install this coon chip into us, you know what I'm saying, and then they need you to not know about your history, like your history starts in 1980 with the crack epidemic, you know what I'm saying, or something, you know, which is not the truth, you know. Because even in the 80s, they still had to bomb black people with government property.
Did you hear about that Kentucky state representative who claimed that her father, a white man born in the 1930s, was a slave? Yep. The extremely white state representative Jennifer Decker made this claim. You might want to sit down for this one. While speaking to the local chapter of the NAACP, hang in there, there's more to come. On the first day of Black History Month, please stay seated, to explain why she was supporting a bill that would eliminate diversity, equity, and inclusion programs at state and public colleges. When she was asked whether her family had any role in the slave trade, she said, My father was a slave, just to a white man, and he was white. Decker elaborated that,
by the way, that is white on white crime. They probably did enslave each other. You know how Europeans do to each other. So I mean, that's all you really had to say as white on white crime. You know.
White. Decker elaborated that.
I had to. What's going on, Cassandra? Yeah. At the beginning, I was showing what's going on in the school system. I guess I'm about to get to the point in a minute, but I'm just playing this to give it a minute.
My father was born on a dirt farm in Lincoln County. His mother was the illegitimate daughter of a very prominent person who then was kind enough to allow them to work for him as slaves. Yeah, that totally happened in the 1930s, almost 70 years after African Americans were liberated from slavery. Now, there are three possible explanations for this.
Now, it doesn't matter what this fool says. All right. So one of the problems that this have is because like with a lot of that's a part of them not wanting because what she's doing is trying to pass more legislation to keep you to like have to sign a permission slip to learn about Black history. And if the parents aren't going to take it upon themselves to at least find somebody who knows that, then you know what I'm saying, the situation will continue that way. You know what I'm saying? So that's the point. Yeah, it's another form of slavery. Because they make millions of dollars off of you and pay you like a couple of, you know what I'm saying, pennies in comparison. And that's another thing I was going to say, because a lot of parents have to work, you know what I'm saying, and they have their children in these school systems where you have white bitches as their teachers because we want DIE. I'm gonna start calling it DIE, you know what I'm saying, because that's what it is, you know, because we already see whose culture is we're going to sacrifice, you know what I'm saying? And as you get to the point where you start seeing Black people denying slavery, start denying Black people in history, like denying like Harriet Tubman existed, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure that there was a woman who ran away from slavery, even whatever you want to. I would bet money that was Black women more than just Harriet Tubman. We may only know about her because there was others that was never heard about. I'm pretty sure, you know, but you get to a point where we deny history so much. And then you start seeing other Black people come in like, well, you know, the Irish were slaves. So what about these people? What about those people? You know what I'm saying? Like, and diluting the history, and that's what they're supposed to do. But the problem is like we don't know, and we become more confused, and we get more diluted, and we try to integrate more, or we lose touch of who we are even more, or we get more sucked into the position that we're in. It's like a cycle that keep caving in on itself. And it's definitely by design, you know. So, and you know, the point is to keep you from knowing about your history, all right? Now, this part, right? I guess I wasn't even going to talk about it, but I just seen too many people talk about it. I just thought it was pretty funny, right? But you know, they got the so the Democrat thing, you know what I'm saying, they unveiled their new hip hop, you know, task force, you know, led by some Black men, you know what I'm saying, which is another, there's always going to be some like clones and like sellouts and stuff like that. But we in a society that develops them to where we won't even like speak up because of money, even if it's like a $20 an hour. And then we'll get mad at, you know what I'm saying, somebody making $1 million, but you know what I'm saying, like we won't do the same thing, you know. And should I get mad at them too, you know, but at the same time, they keep you stuck in on this stuff, you know what I'm saying? So again, I played another white dude just so y'all can feel comfortable.
Not 4 times, but 5 times, because I never saw anything this dumb before. And you know, maybe I'm being too hard on this. Democrats are looking to use that was going to corrupt the youth, but now, oh hey, guess there's a hip hop task.
Because I don't appreciate this white boy even, but that's me, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna keep
now,
that to myself.
Democrats unveil new hip hop task force to tackle racial inequality. So, hey, a coalition of Democrats are looking to use the power of music to tackle some of the most pressing issues facing Black and brown Americans. Jamal Bowman on Wednesday unveiled.
You can't hear it?
The Congressional Hip Hop and Justice Task Force outside the Capitol.
Oh, okay. I say you cannot with them. I thought you said you can't hear it.
Issues facing Black and brown Americans. Jamal Bowman on Wednesday unveiled the Congressional Hip Hop and Justice Task Force outside the Capitol. Okay, let's see what it does and how much money are we wasting into this. The task force led by Bowman will use hip-hop's messaging of building a more equitable society to help spearhead initiatives to address economic inequality, affordable housing, and racial justice imperatives. So does that mean, like, you know, you guys are going to, you know, form together a coalition to force the vote for Medicare on the House floor? Does that mean challenging, you know, Democratic leadership? Will the hip-hop task force be the task force necessary to do a force to vote? I hope that's the case. That would be ever so nice. Are you guys going to form a task force to stop the, you know, military-industrial complex? Because that also leads to this homelessness crisis that we have here, this inequality crisis that we have here. You know, I was recently on Due Dissident's show where we talked about our crumbling infrastructure, and the reason why.
Said the most honorable Marcus Garvey said, "Soon come when Black people will not get the most mediocre job like cleaning ish up out the streets." Overstand, yeah. Guess who's getting that? You know, is Maria right now. You know what I'm saying, and Pablo and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying, but. Even with this white boy here, you know what I'm saying? What'll get lost in translation is like his goal is like, oh yeah, Black and brown and everybody and all the people that, white people or crack or whatever you call them, you know what I'm saying, have done everybody wrong. You know what I'm saying? And his goal is a quote unquote, I don't want to say better America, you know what I'm saying? Because he uses these phrases like, you know, like with the white liberal, you know what I'm saying? Uses sort of phrases, but, you know, he's more hip, you know, but his goals is completely different. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem because they're all white nationalists at the end of the day, you know? They have different ideas about how their nation should go, but they're all white nationalists. You know what I'm saying? And it comes a time, you know, but we'll get to that time later, I guess.
You know, all of our cities are falling apart, why we have our trains derailing, why we have contaminated water, why we have all these disasters and embarrassments in our cities, why things became Queen Latifah, Chuck D, Public Enemy, inspired from reflecting on how the genre impacted them over the years. Oh, get the fuck. Artists like Eric B. and Rakim, Queen Latifah, Chuck D, Public Enemy inspired the New York lawmaker throughout his life, he said, including during his time as an educator. They were very instrumental in creating a curriculum and blueprint for my life, Bowman told The Hill. So it's sort of like how, you know, Kamala Harris would smoke weed.
All right, it's enough. All right. I don't even want to get us to no. It's they're trying to say that a hip hop task force is saying how we're going to hip hop is a culture that's $1 billion industry that, you know, everybody making money off, especially the shysters. Let's be real, you know what I'm saying? But we haven't harnessed the power of it yet. You know what I'm saying? We haven't harnessed the power. Everybody else do. We haven't harnessed the damn power of it yet. And he's talking about to make transformative change in legislation. Basically, I don't know how you're going to get it. Like, who you going to get it from? Like, the artist got to pay it. Like, the company is just something they're just saying, you know what I'm saying? Where they're going to take the revenue from hip hop and put it back into, I guess, minorities. Like, because they ain't even going to get to that. They ain't even at that part yet. But They already added the black and brown part, but I guess to minority communities. All right. And this is just another thing to
Press conference yesterday
so
to
you can see
announce
it's
the
official.
formation of the first ever Congressional Hip Hop Task Force. The plan is to harness the power of hip hop to make transformative change in legislation.
I guess we all get a free Eminem album or something if we vote for the Democrats. We get Eminem next album free. I guess that's what they're offering us. But speaking of this, the actual hip hop task force, you know what I'm saying? This is what it was, you know what I'm saying? Just like a few years ago, and it still is. So this is what the actual hip hop task force, I know a lot of us is like saying something about it, but this is what it actually is,
Protests
or
have
what
erupted
has
around the
been.
country after the tragic murder of George Floyd at the hands of police.
Today, we learned George Floyd told officers more than 20 times that he could not breathe the night he died. That's according to transcripts of police body cam video worn by former officer Thomas Lane.
While people are divided about whether to reform, defund, or abolish the police, one thing everyone seems to agree upon is the need to deal with the systemic oppression of black and brown people at the hands of those who are supposed to be
black people is racist.
system of policing in America. Just ask rappers who've been targets solely dedicated to the surveillance of rappers in an attempt to connect artists to local crimes. And none of this is new. In fact, it doesn't even start with these specific units. In order to understand the true relationship between hip hop and policing within America, we need the police departments had no clue.
All right, so
The
y'all
Who's
can
concert in Cincinnati.
y'all can go back and watch this whole thing. But of course I could have got a better video, but this is what the hip hop task force was, you know what I'm saying? And now they're trying to, I guess, make it something different, but it's still the same thing where where you see a lot of rappers getting charged with that, with all the stuff they say. All right. Oh yeah, and by the way, this is in North Carolina, you know what I'm saying? Speaking of task force, talking about a task force for racial equality and showing their accomplishments. Yeah, what's going on, Bukhari?
Good evening, you guys. So a great deal of information was shared here at that meeting today from the task force on their accomplishments. And we spoke with Jalen Miller with Emancipate NC, and she says that some of those resources can really help people at the local and county levels.
That's exactly what I went to law school to do, is help the people who need the help the most.
Jalen Miller is a community lawyer with Emancipate NC. Having family members who cycled in and out of jail, Miller has a personal connection to breaking the cycle of mass incarceration and systemic racism. Her group's grassroots efforts amplify Governor Roy Cooper's NC Task Force for Racial Equity in Criminal Justice.
There are great resources at the state level, including the task force, that we could take advantage of at the local level to make some real changes.
Miller believes the task force's 2023 accomplishments are a step in the right direction. The task force created NC law enforcement accreditation, improving the culture in police departments. In winter of 2024, Fayetteville Technical
Yeah, so is the police culture better down there in North Carolina?
of 2024, Fayetteville Technical Community College is one of 15 sites that will deliver a new basic law enforcement curriculum.
With those trainings, we can at least begin to get some officers to understand better methods, to de-escalate, better methods to engage with folks and really confront their own implicit biases that they have about these folks in the first place.
There is also a bright spot for mental health services.
So many people today that we deal with need health care and not handcuffs.
Emancipate NC is pushing for the expansion of alternative response units like the HEART program, unarmed mental health professionals that respond to 911 calls.
Our goal is that it will be implemented in Raleigh this year. Our secondary goal is that we will begin to start implementing it in Fayetteville.
Successful reentry was another focus, giving people who paid their debt to society a second chance, help to get a job, a driver's license, and even health care.
You are giving them a better chance. Plus, it's the right thing to do.
Miller believes people who have boots on the ground must always have a voice.
I don't know. So I don't know. Maybe they would have. I don't know. Roman the Bush is actually doing it. So I don't know. Because you know what I'm saying. Maybe they have funds or something. You know what I'm saying. I don't know. but you know, we know how they use it and how they use their quote unquote task force. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how that's worked out down there. All right, I'll show you one more thing before I show you something else, right? Because y'all probably not going to hear this. And this is what I actually really came, because I couldn't help it, you know what I'm saying? I had to show it. But I'll show you one more other thing. Y'all probably don't want to see this either, but you know. Speaking of all the stuff that we've been talking about with you know, going to school, you know what I'm saying, getting the coon chip installed, them teaching our children how to become workers, you know what I'm saying, and not owners of businesses, or you know, how to even finance money, you know what I'm saying, especially not in the public schools, with most of the teachers calling them N-words, you know what I'm saying. Then you become, you know what I'm saying, workers. I'll play this one and then I'll go into what I want to say. I guess I'll stall you out. Now, this dude here called the police on his worker for allegedly stealing.
Without the box. He didn't send it? No, still outstanding.
No, I doubt they're gonna wipe their records clean.
Shipment still hasn't been scanned in. So you have no idea where it is, just left what they came back without it. Correct. We'll talk for a second, then we'll be in there. So how do the owners want to address this with him first? Is that what I need?
Now, he said he walked outside with a box and then came back in a few minutes later without a box. And so he stole something.
Is there anything we do to slow roll this, or? Okay. So what we would do, so let me game plan with him, because I want to make sure he's online with everything. But just chill right here.
All right, so this is them arresting him. Say they got a game plan.
What's that? What's going on?
Now, this brother just at work, and then the police just there, like, arresting him, talking about he's stealing. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell is going on?
What?
We'll explain everything in a second.
Oh, yeah, really fucking serious.
You got your idea on
Yeah.
And they was talking about, like, grand larceny.
Larceny, this is crazy, bro.
Yeah, you see, he did not steal anything.
Like, yeah. Like, it has to get worse.
Now, they found the thing that could accuse him of stealing.
Mailman. Hell yeah, appreciate you, sir. Thank you for being.
Now, listen to this young brother.
Saved by the freaking mailman. Hell yeah, appreciate you, sir. Thank you for being.
Well, it was no proof. The thing they accused him of stealing was there the whole time, and so there was no proof whatsoever. But listen to this young brother, you know.
Saved by the freaking mailman. Hell yeah, appreciate you, sir. Thank you for being cool with me and cooperative with me. Because I'm my man, I knew, like, like, it has to get worked out. Yeah. That kind of thing. And like I said, if that happened and you were already in custody, then, like, you would have just been unarrested back down here.
Yeah, you would have been unarrested.
I'm going to go in there, talk with them. All right. Energy drink, C4 on the
right
C4?
door.
What kind? What I forgot what I bought. Is it the red or the?
I had a straw in there. I want my straw. I want, you know what I'm saying, the stick of gum I had in there.
Just know. Yeah, it's in the 7-Eleven door. Okay. So we got the box. Where's it at? Taylor, can you give us a break? I'm sorry? Can you punch out here for a second?
Now, you remember how he was smiling. Thanks for being cool, man. I appreciate that, bro. You know, smiling your face, but.
So 10 minutes after you guys left, this showed up. Can we open it and confirm it's in there?
It showed up. It walked in the door by itself 10 minutes after they drove him off to the police station.
I know, but like. Nope. As soon as Cole brought it in, he opened it. Oh, he did? He did. It's in there. I'm really happy that this happened. Yes.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, me too. I don't know what y'all's policy on like
They sound ecstatic, right?
THC is here.
Now listen to this, because he was just smiling in his face, but I'm so happy that this happened. Then immediately say this.
Yeah, me too. I don't know what y'all's policy on like THC is here and stuff. He had a weed pen on him. Okay. I was initially charging him with that, but they didn't grant it for me.
And he was like, I don't, like, just out of nowhere, I don't know what your policy is, but he did have a THC pen. He probably smoked too, though, you know what I'm saying? But like, he's just like, yeah, so maybe you can fire him. He was like, I tried to charge him, but they wouldn't let me. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I heard this wrong. But he was just like, yo, thank God for, well, I tried to charge him with this THC pen that he had, you know what I'm saying? Which I'm assuming this is a legal state. And he was like, oh, well, they wouldn't let me do that, you know what I'm saying? Especially since it was because it was over something that he had in his office the whole time. Yeah, what up, my brother Anthony?
Correct serial, everything. Okay. Can you show me to his office? He wants me to get his car keys.
All
the stuff's right there. His car keys right.
Yeah, that's crazy, right? He was just smiling in his face, and then like, oh yeah, you know, I don't know what your weed policy is here, buddy, but we did find a vape pen on him. Like, damn, I know you're a cop, but that was like hella dry snitching. All right, Anthony, my brother, you made it for either the best or the worst part, you know what I'm saying? Depending on how you take it. Yeah, I'm like, he's like, yo, 10 minutes after you left, the package was right here. I'm like, what? And the brother was like, oh yeah, thank you so much, sir. You know what I'm saying? I knew it would work out. Yeah, of course I'm gonna be cool. It's like, thank you, buddy, for being so cool with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad this happened. Oh yeah, by the way, you know, I tried to arrest him for a vape pen, you know what I'm saying? But anyway. So the thing is, right? Sometimes you have to pick one side or the other. You know what I'm saying? You can't be in the middle, right? Because when you're in the middle, everybody hates you. You feel me? So sometimes you have, well, all the time, you have to pick one side or another. You know what I'm saying? And so y'all remember the other day I was showing the thing with the dude Stephen A. Smith, right? But I have to show this because, you know, it's funny. It's an example though for the young people. So like you have to pick a side, right? And the other side is going to eat you alive, that's for sure. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, we have to do better by our youth, you know what I'm saying? But you still have to pick a side, you know what I'm saying? Because when you try to walk in the middle, you know what I'm saying, everybody hates you. Now, I showed that thing with the dude Stephen A. Smith, you know, defending this white girl, you know what I'm saying? And I'll just play like just a minute of this because it's hella black people talking about this as, I don't know why they tripping, but
it's due to pattern recognition.
I just picked a random one, by the way.
Consistent behavior when it comes to how he handles members of the black society versus how he handles members of the dominant society. And yet Atlanta's example of that is when a lot of black folks, including myself, went at this white supremacist piece of trash and Megyn Kelly for the stuff she said regarding the Black National Anthem and the Super Bowl. We went at her. And being the contrarian bootlicking sellout that he is, right on time. I'm surprised he beat Jason Whitlock to the damn punch.
He beat your boy Whitlock.
Because normally it would be Jason Whitlock with his 3-chin, no-neck having ass would be the one to put on the Superman cape for a white woman. But no, Stephen A. Smith had to be the first one to jump on that train. He had to beat Jason Whitlock to the punch on this one. So now you tired of black folks calling people out on their racism now? How about this, Stephen A. Smith? We tired of you buck dancing. That's what we tired of.
Yeah, hey, Bakar, hey, who did this part remind you of? I ain't gonna say nothing, but who did that part
remind you? We tired of you buck dancing. That's what we tired of. We tired of you somebody for their racism, you want to come on and put on the cape. Then you want to call yourself, running your mouth about Monique, talk about how she bitter for the stuff that she had to endure from Tyler Perry and Oprah Winfrey and everybody else. Because you're supposed to be a quote-unquote brother. You ain't no brother of mine.
I ain't saying no names, Bukai. All right. So y'all get the point, though, right? So you try to walk the line, right? You like, because I agree, right? How do you affect consequences on somebody who is or whatever? You know what I'm saying? Like, well, let the people like, you know what I'm saying? You don't support them at all. You know what I'm saying? You let them fall. You know, even the people who's not really about it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not necessarily going to support them, you know what I'm saying? But I know a lot of people is outraged just because of black people, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I agree. There should be definite consequences, you know what I'm saying, for, you know, those who do this, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, so he's talking about, well, it's just insensitive. There's no evidence that this white bitch here is quote unquote racist, you know what I'm saying? But also though, right, for those who think like they need to go to the other side or whatever, and that, you know, you want to maybe cloning is a good idea, you know what I'm saying? You have to go in all the way, you feel me? Because you see he's trying to walk the line because he's trying to keep both. But, and I'm gonna just skim through this white boy video here because it's kind of funny, you know. And there's other things that I want to talk about here because, you know, he's like pretty dumb. So
popular, but it's factually needs to be addressed. I don't expect white people to have the sensibilities of black people. I don't expect somebody white to get it about black people the way I expect black people to get it about black people.
This right here is going to be a special video, which of course, I find it odd that his content does not go up the algorithm the way it should go up. I'm not talking about myself, but we'll get to here in a second. I actually had the perfect call out in this entire situation. I'm just simply here, even after some people said that he had a rational
Anthem. Colorado's GOP rep Lauren Boebert tweeted her objections.
by the way, I was trolling this dude. I maybe lost my touch because I be still trying to troll him, but only that one white boy came on here that time. But it ain't working like it used to. I used to be able to get them offended enough to like say something back. Now they don't say nothing back no more. Maybe I need to dial it back, I guess. I don't know. I gotta get my troll game back up.
Stating, quote, America only has one national anthem. Why is the NFL trying to divide us by playing multiple? Do football, not wokeness. Okay? But of course, then there was Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly is a very popular podcaster who used to work at Fox News. She's a former Fox News host. I've had the pleasure of meeting her on several occasions because there were plenty of people.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
She said, quote, tweeted, quote,
I love
Black
Megyn
national
Kelly.
anthem does not belong at the Super Bowl. We already have a national anthem and it includes everyone. That's what she said. And of course, she has her supporters because there were plenty of people who spoke up on her behalf. And
I should have rolled like timestamps
obviously,
on the show, but
Kerry Lake was one of them.
If you feel like I got something wrong, please watch the clip, come back and previous year, and she sat during the playing of Lift Up Every Voice and Sing. He's upset with Matt Gaetz. He's upset with Lauren Boebert because they said this is not the venue for this. Now, I have said this before. I said this in the previous video. The problem with this situation is the fact of the timing. The reason why people are upset is mostly because of the timing. Also, we live in a
And so it ain't white people didn't approve of it. It got to be on the time they approve
that
of
right
it, I
there is
guess.
the reason why they're doing this. You see, you got to ask yourself a question about this particular topic. Was this topic relevant 5 or 6 years ago? No, it wasn't. Now, I will explain.
Particularly in the black community, being so quick to throw out the word racism. When you throw out the word racism, do me a favor. Have more evidence before you do it so it can't be dismissed via plausible deniability or something else. I don't know Megyn Kelly at all. Okay? I don't find her statement to be racist. I find it to be, in her eyes, patriotic. I find it to be, in her eyes, self-righteous. I find her to be a bit detached from reality being faced by Black Americans everywhere. I got that part. But I can't go in the way that I wanted to go in about her when people are out there from my community just throwing out the word racist. You don't
Well, that's all right. We don't need you to go in, Stephen.
know that about her. You don't know that about her. And when you say something like that, you dilute the potency and
Before I let him go.
Now, see, you can't you can't sit on the fence or none of that stuff. Any youngsters who think that they can, like, okay, maybe I can still keep my black side. You see how you're gonna get rejected from the black community because we're gonna be like, oh, listen to this clone. You know what I'm saying? But you can't, if you do that, you have to, you know what I'm saying, be like First Rifleman and go all the way with it. You know what I'm saying?
Go any further, because obviously you guys heard that, and there's a lot you could talk about here, but I think the most important thing is that most people can obviously decipher where he's going to go. Here's the thing, and this right here is the reason why I'm bringing this up. The song "Lift Up Every Voice and Sing" has been around since 1919.
Yeah,
it's a movie called. It was a movie that was realizing that the NFL is playing a large part of the agenda that's being played at hand. I talked about this in the previous video that I'll also link that in the description box, how it is that those who are upset that there's not enough, let's just say, black faces in management, black faces in the league itself, a league that's, by the way, 70% African-American. By the way, I'm proud of all these people because they obviously came from some very, very bad situations. Yes, I know people want to try to call me racist or whatever, but we'll get to that here soon because Darrell Scott, of course, when you criticize him, this is the line he went with. The thing is this right here. The timing of this entire situation is obviously what people are a little bit confused about. Why bring it up now? We don't live in a divided nation. It feels like
they bring it up like they brought it up like 5 months ago. You know what I'm saying? They bring it, well, you know, anyway.
Trying to separate. Maybe you're trying to separate the group even more, or maybe you're trying to outright replace somebody else. Now, I opened this segment by asking you guys if you remember Juneteenth. Juneteenth is a holiday obviously designed.
That's Bakari boy, consider. He love Stephen A. Smith.
Commemorate the Tulsa Massacre. Don't worry, we will do a video on that because there's definitely a lot to get into there and a lot of gaslighting with that too.
He's talking about some, the Tulsa race riot is gaslighting and fake and all this stuff, and they're about to spin the history on that. See, this is a part of why they need you to not know about history, though. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of this stuff, like it may seem far-fetched, but now you see people saying like, well, Harriet Tubman didn't exist. Well, if that's the case, that would mean John Brown didn't exist, or he was a damn liar. You know what I'm saying? So there is no John Brown. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't even think of the consequences. And when people start spinning like the history, like when they start talking about like, the Tulsa, who do you think you're sending your children to the schools with? You know what I'm saying? And if you are not getting the education yourself to give to your children, they are not going to get it. And then the cycle will repeat until they get in their 30s, and then they have the conversations we having right now and do it all over again.
In said holiday, it is a holiday that is primarily, and I mean this, celebrated in Oklahoma and Texas. But they brought up in 2020. They brought up during Black Lives Matter. They brought up during the Black Lives Matter. Talking about Juneteenth. And of course, there's actually the story to go behind this because they tried to make it political and they tried to trap the Trump campaign with that. We'll get to that in the video. But you didn't know about it till now. My immediate thinking was when I heard about Juneteenth was, wow, I guess we're going to have a Juneteenth sale every year in the month of June, even though you already have Father's Day sales when it comes to these.
What do you mean, Bakari? Who's Who's scamming? You talking about this white boy or Stephen A. Smith? Yeah, and it definitely doesn't make him you know what I'm saying, not a clone, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the definition of that, you know what I'm saying? It's no different than somebody getting on the internet and saying what they want just so they can get donations or none of that. That's what I'm saying. But Bakari, you cannot say that when you defend too many clones, my brother, you know.
These retail stores. So obviously something.
Well, yeah, he's definitely like hell, like that's what everybody calling him out for now. You know what I'm saying? Like he's trying to scam he's trying to scam both. That's why he's on the line. You know what I'm saying? He's sitting there acting like he's calling them out. You think that was real? You know what I'm saying? Or you think he was like trying to do that to us too? You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't, like that's what makes you like you doing it for money. Like that's the definition of what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't see how you don't understand that. You know what I'm saying?
Is a little off here.
But I'll
But
get
then
to
we
that
get
in a
to this
minute, I
part.
guess. I hope. I think I got
Snap
it.
your W-2.
Is what they're saying is like a bunch of, it's like, you know, to make money. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why they say the things that they have to say. You know what I'm saying? But he comes back and tries to be on, like, tries to still have, you know what I'm saying, the quote unquote black card or whatever.
I may not like it. Megyn Kelly, if you're watching, you're listening, I don't like
Yeah, I
it.
never once defended Candace Owens, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, that's how people took it, I guess. But because I say that she's scamming them, because she is, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that she's not a clone, you know what I'm saying? But she's definitely, we'll get to that in a second, because I even added that just because, you know what I'm saying? But, like, yeah, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, you defend way too many clones to even say that, though.
You said it all. I think it comes across as highly insensitive. You cannot take into account history. You cannot acknowledge, because you are a historian. I've heard you. I've watched you. I've listened.
He called this girl a historian. This white bitch a historian. And Carl, you telling me he think she a historian for real? And Mark Levine, if y'all know who that is that he's cool? He called this white bitch a historian.
I think it comes across as highly insensitive. You cannot take into account history. You cannot
Oh, she doesn't, Bukhari. She's a clone, but she tells them what she's paid to tell them. You know what I'm saying? Whether she believes it or not. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing. You know, she is paid to like sell her. She sold her soul. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it is. You know, like. Whether she believes it or not, she's paid to represent certain talking points, you know what I'm saying? Or you won't be in that position. Like, you ever notice, like, and that's what I mean, like, you have to be the anti-racist black person to be on, like, some, like, CNN, but, like, you have to be, like, that person to be on Fox or whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's all an act so they can get paid. It makes them one of the worst clones, you know what I'm saying? Actually, you know, I ain't gonna say worse because they're to me, it is what it is. They're all clones, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, they get paid literally to do this, you know what I'm saying? And especially as the black person, like they'll sell out their own to get paid to say whatever they need them to say to represent whatever and think about themselves. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's just how it is, you know?
Knowledge. Because you are a historian. I've heard you. I've watched you. I've listened.
Yeah, she said Santa Claus is white and Jesus is white too, by the way. But she's a historian, so.
Highly insensitive. You cannot take into account history. You cannot acknowledge, because you are a historian. I've heard you. I've watched you. I've listened to you. Profound respect for you. I've even listened to your interview, your lengthy interview with my former colleague at ESPN, Sage Steele, who a lot of people don't like, but I respect and I like.
By the way, that's a mulatto chick who always say, because a lot of people don't like her because she always say, like, go in on, like, black men and black people and be like, I'm not black, I'm mulatto. And she's a tragic mulatto story. So that's just the backstory.
Because I've known Sage Steele for nearly 30 years. It doesn't mean I agree with everything she says. I certainly don't agree with all of her politics, but I've known her for years, and I respect her. What I'm saying to you, however,
And she's a historian. Megyn Kelly is I'm damn sure a historian if she is a historian at this point, though.
Megyn Kelly, I'm only bringing up her name to let you know I've listened to you on many occasions. We run across each other during my visits at Fox News in the past.
Now, he
And
gonna say
respect
something here.
is obviously something you should require because your body of work is that significant. I get it. But you ain't black.
Hey, yo, y'all name me 3 things that Megyn Kelly has ever done for her body of work. Y'all can all put y'all stuff together in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Even the people who ain't saying nothing, what has she ever done?
You haven't been marginalized and ostracized and treated in the manner that black people have been treated. Now, as a woman, you have certainly had your challenges. Last time I
See, this is what make white bitches the most dangerous thing. Oh yeah, as a woman, white bitches was the most dangerous ones. They was like strangling babies and, you know what I'm saying, like the abuse they used to do to black women, raping black men. I would bet money that if we were able to like take a tally, that white bitches have probably raped black men more so than the other way around. Like I would bet money and probably win.
I checked, the person who gave you the most grief about being a woman.
She's a podcaster, you know, but she used to be on Fox News, you know what I'm saying? And so he looks up to people like this, you know.
Was the former president of the United States, who's the front runner for the GOP nomination. He's the one that was very disrespectful.
Now, really quick, before we go any further, I do want to say this, right? When he says that I don't expect white people to get this, I don't expect white people to get this. I would love to say, you know what, you're right. I get it. Get it. You know, I'm constantly persecuted. We're constantly persecuted by the police, and you know, we don't get the jobs, yada 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 yada. Okay, right now you're the only group that thinks you should get a job based upon your skin color. Okay. If you keep droning on and on and on about it, after a while, people are just going to kind of like, here we go again. What I'm saying, Stephen A, is
see, like while we try to be eloquent, because he was like, hold on, I can't call her out on her racism if y'all call her racist. And this white boy is clearly telling you the only thing that they respond to is getting smacked in the mouth sometimes. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to hear you go on and knowing you ain't going to do it. But we like to respond, listen, let me break down racism to you. You see, in 1922, you know what I'm saying, we wrote the song. Like, now that's good for us to know when Lift Every Voice was written and what it meant to us in 1990. It's good for us and our children. But when you're sitting there explaining to fools like this, sometimes you can't. It's better explained by smacking them in the mouth. You know what I'm saying?
this right here. If you really and truly want people to understand, you need to pick yourself up by your bootstraps and actually move forward. That is what you need to do. I know it sounds a little bit out of touch, but quite frankly, I don't care. The thing is this right here. Right now, you have a culture that is glorifying people like George Floyd, that's deifying people like that, that's deifying criminals at this moment in time. So, of course, people, average people.
And by the way, this is coming from, I tried to troll Weldon with this, but they ain't responding. But this is coming from a group of people that put pedophile, murderer, rapist thugs on the sides of mountains. Right? Keep that in mind. Like, they put a pedophile on the side of a mountain. So,
whether they're white, Hispanic. By the way, nobody seems to get you. It's not just white people. It's Hispanics, it's Asians, it's pretty much everybody. If you continue to deify these types of people that I just mentioned, after a while, people are just going to roll their eyes at you and they're just going to kind of like just be dismissive of you. The truth be told is you're actually creating more racism with this type of crap here because people just walk away from you because they already know that people like you are just race hustlers and race baiters. I mean, it's obvious.
So to the black side, you're a clone and you should be excommunicated. To this other side, you're still a race baiter and a hustler, no different than the rest of us. Right? You see, like, it ain't no way of like, and you know what, some of his talking points, you know, are going to sound some familiar to some of y'all, you know what I'm saying? Some of us may have even said some of his talking points he about to say. But you know, sometimes, you know, well, you like, all the time, you know what I'm saying? You can't serve two gods, or as they will, you can't have serve two masters, or whatever the saying is, you know. You have to pick a side, you know what I mean? And that's the thing, like, that gets a lot of them in trouble, you know what I'm saying? Or a lot of people, you try to still be like, maintain your quote unquote blackness, but still, you know, cloning it up, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just a lesson for like the younger people who may be in that situation. There is no walking both sides, you know what I'm saying?
See what you're doing is just trying to create this sense that 12% of the nation's not welcome, when in reality, you need to be, I don't know, maybe motivating people
Anthony, you don't think she a historian?
To do a lot better. Maybe you should be doing that right there to kind of see that they are part of the country. Also, something else too, I want to go ahead and make this point perfectly clear before we go any further. You're not a slave anymore. Okay.
No, I wonder who said, because you're not a slave.
Also, something else too, I want to go ahead and make this point perfectly clear before we go any further. You're not a slave anymore. Okay. You're not a slave anymore. You haven't been a slave for years. So stop. Slaves in the United
For a
States
few years.
don't exist anymore. Just go ahead and get,
except in punishment for a crime, or unless it's like not involuntary servitude. So if you volunteer, or if you commit a crime, just according to the law that you would cite, you know. But that's me explaining it, but I'm just more so for y'all. But I know some of y'all like to hear that, see where this talking point comes from.
stop. Slaves in the United States don't exist anymore. Just go ahead and get that notion out of the way. You'll hear me say it again when we talk about Gerald Scott in a minute. A very combative relationship. Megyn Kelly stayed home. She did not vote for Trump in 2016. And to my knowledge, she didn't vote for him in 2020, but yes, she's going to vote for him. The national anthem covers everybody. It's not really the Civil Rights Act. It's really the Great Society Act that I think the population feel like they're still enslaved when obviously they're not. Slavery ended when the civil by the media is that slavery is still going on. Don't worry, we'll talk more about that in my video on reparations and the reparations grift. The idea is to try to make 12% of the population feel like they're still enslaved.
That must make it true then. Must make it true, Odie. The white boy has spoken.
When obviously they're not. Slavery ended when the Civil War ended. Not only did that happen, but after Jim Crow was over with, eventually you had the Civil Rights Act, which I think
now I wonder where that damn talking point comes from. Lord have mercy.
Contribute to the problems that some people do. Actually, I take that back. It's not really the Civil Rights Act. It's really the Great Society Act that I think.
Right, this fool don't even know what he's talking about. See, this is the thing I asked him. I hope here it is. I have a question, right? I ain't gonna read all of that. But I was like, you know, so they are against wokeness. So I asked them, does that mean that you are advocating like what, like being asleep? Are you advocating for people to be asleep? I'm just confused because I know they have like a low IQ, and so I can't grasp that concept of them being anti-wokeness. So what are they, like pro-sleepness? You know what I'm saying? They are advocating for people to be asleep. And if that's the case, and you are not woke and you are asleep, therefore, should I listen to you about anything since you're like sleep? You don't know nothing. You don't even know what you're talking about. It's just European culture, low IQ stuff that confuses me. Like, but they didn't answer me. At least they didn't block my comment yet, though.
You see, the narrative that's being pushed by the media is that slavery is still going on. Don't worry, we'll talk more about that in my video on the problems that some people do. Actually, I take that back. It's not really the Civil Rights Act. It's really the Great Society Act that I think really has contributed to it. But that's another video for another day. The fact of the matter is this right here. They're continuing to go with the false racism narrative when obviously the national anthem covers everybody. The idea is try to disenfranchise 12% of the population and make 12% of the population feel like they are not.
It does include, or it doesn't include everybody, because it doesn't really include like the Asians and other people, but it does include Black people. They have, and it fits them too, for their anthem would be talking about killing Black people. You know what I'm saying? It makes sense for America, like, well, we're American though, but it literally makes sense for America's national anthem to talk about killing Black people. And you know what? I'm gonna play the one of my candidate for Black national anthem. So it's parental advisory when I end it. All right.
Welcome in their own nation when obviously they are. The racism grift has been going on for a very long time. It's kind of like I said in the previous video. If you really and truly want this type of stuff to go away, just simply stop talking about it.
By the way, they say racism doesn't exist except when black people are racist, because they also believe that black people can be racist. That's one of their talking points too, that black people, anybody can be racist. Black people are racist to them. Like, because if you ask them this racist, like, but this, y'all know Europeans contradict themselves all the time. If you ask them if racism exists, they'll be like, no. And then be like, well, do white people experience anti-racism? They'll be like, yes. You know what I'm saying? So, like, anyway.
Go down the road, talk to your neighbor, go to the...
Hey,
why is that at the top of the priority list?
Listen to this fool. Now, he's saying this fool is, and this is the thing here, because fools like him who went all the way out there, right? They are getting paid hella money on YouTube from these white boys. That's the thing. That's the thing you need to recognize. This dude talking here is conservative something. You know what I'm saying? It's just a clone black dude. But if you look at his subscriber thing, and this is the thing that black people are not doing, you know what I'm saying, with the people who are doing the things that they need to be doing, whoever you feel that is, like, they are supporting the clones to do this. That's why they make it so easy to do this, so they can just hear what their talking points are and repeat them. If you don't think that the stuff is not a scam, they may be too dumb to know that it's a scam. But how can I predict like what people like First Rifleman is going to say? Because it comes from a certain talking point. Like, if you understood like all of this, but it's big money in that. But see, it should be big money in, us people who's actually putting in work. Like, yeah, granted, you have to show the work you put in, you know what I'm saying? But they are supporting and putting like giving them lifestyles, you know what I'm saying? Put that way,
Why are we so worried about a black national anthem? Why is that at the top of the priority list when there's so many other issues with black folks that I think black people should be concerned about? You got people boohoo, whining, and crying, losing their minds over David Lucas making a joke about George Floyd, who was a criminal, by the way, right? They trying to act like George Floyd was some type of civil rights activist in regards to how they defended him and going after David Lucas. But when it comes to the actual criminals, when it comes to the people that are actually really hurting black folks.
Now, I did not talk about this, right? Because a lot of people was also talking about this fat dude, you know what I'm saying? I know him just from like roasting stuff, you know what I'm saying, where he be telling jokes and stuff. But the dude has always like been a clone, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you even look him up and then like look at him, he let like white people call him the N-word and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? He's like a real clone, you know what I'm saying? That's why, I never really, like, that's just what he is, and this hasn't been on YouTube, right?
Sir, you had to get a name by disparaging black folk. No, sir, that's how you're getting a name.
I don't want peons like you to
Sir, you have no respect for the black community.
And the thing is, that's the thing where black people walked out of his thing, which I do think is good. They walked out of his show or whatever. But black people actually called his like parents and his family on the phone and all that, and they was like making excuses. So
I have a lot of respect for.
No, you don't. You disrespected Dr. King.
No respect for the black.
You disrespected black
criminal on a pedestal.
Sir, you disrespected Dr. King.
Of course I did. It's called a joke.
It's not a joke. There's nothing funny about what you do.
Hey.
And I'm certain that the King Center doesn't find it funny either.
I don't want them to find me funny.
No, we're talking about your remark. Whether you're funny or not, no one cares. It's the things that you're saying about the black community that cannot be and won't be tolerated.
See, this is another person, right, who says all kind of crazy stuff for money, but he's not gonna like make like a white person that got killed joke. You know what I'm saying? If you look up his history, it's always some straight up clone stuff. It's not a surprise. You know what I'm saying? But this is just another example of someone who does it for money, you know?
How many people think it's funny that you're homosexual?
Sir?
Listen to your voice. You're not
All
manly
right,
at
so
all.
you know,
And we should take it serious. But the thing is this right here, it seems to me like we're more interested in defending somebody who was a criminal who, quite frankly, died more as a result of his own actions than we are at the actual root cause and the root issue itself. This is part of the reason why it is.
See, I wouldn't debate this clown about this, about that. You know what I'm saying? Because this is proof that we cannot be. Would I want this fool on a jury if something happened to me? Like, we just shouldn't be in the same society at that point, right? You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want him to be on it in the jury. You know what I'm saying? If, you know what I'm saying, I get, you know what I'm saying, just like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
Is that I think this push for the Black National Anthem is a little bit, let's just say, the timing is questionable. The intentions are definitely questionable. And
It's not on white people's time now. All right, I'm gonna get to this other part.
This type of nonsense out of Stephen A. Smith. However,
this other dude here who has been cloning for a long time, right? This good old pastor, right? Now, he actually messed up and went off their code.
there's a recent personality that I've talked about before that I didn't realize how bad it was. Enter Pastor Daryl Scott.
All right, before I play what he said, you know what I'm saying? Let me play this. All right, I'm gonna come back to that. All right. Now, this is this pastor here, you know what I'm saying? If you don't remember him. All right.
God bless Donald Trump. God bless you, and God bless America.
This was almost a hallelujah.
Open up your mouth and give him praise right there.
I like him. I think he's a great leader, and I think he'd be a good president. You know what I mean? He's got. Can I say this on the air?
Well, y'all love dictators, don't y'all? So maybe he'll be a good dictator.
Can I say this on the air? Whatever you like. He's got balls. You know, and I'm sick of.
You, Bukhari Matron, Oni Bukhari Matron. Y'all love dictators. Maybe he'll be a good dictator.
These leaders that don't have balls, and Hillary don't have no balls. Trump's got balls. He's got some big ones, and so I like that in the leader. He reminds me of me. He's a white me.
Trump is a white him. This is the key word, though. Scott is a surrogate. You know what I'm saying? That's all you need to know. Scott is a surrogate. All right, Pastor Daryl Scott. All right, and but lately he's been getting off cold with them white folks. You know what I'm saying?
God, y'all remember him?
I don't
now?
like.
Yeah, he was a part of the crew with Omarosa at the very beginning of Donald
What's
Trump's
up, Mason?
presidency.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm not justifying like Dave Chappelle. I don't know where Dave Chappelle come from, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go to see him either, you know what I'm saying? Like,
But before Donald Trump got into the White House, he would be out there with Paris Denard. Well, baby, Pastor Daryl Scott is going TF off over there on social media on these new would get off it, or he would be nervous, or outreach to different demographics, suburban white out with this. In a meeting discussing voter outreach to different demographics, suburban white women, evangelicals, gun owners, Black community, Hispanics, unions, one person said, quote, Trump needs to just make up anything to say to Black people. Lie to them. It doesn't matter, end quote. And he goes on to say, would you think the person who said that is racist?
now, this is Pastor D. Scott, the surrogate, you know what I'm saying? So he's like, one person in this meeting said, just make up and tell Black people anything. I don't know. Democrats must have a meeting together with the Republicans. So, and the Democrats were like, hell, we're gonna go with anything. And so let's just say hip hop. But he was like, yeah, he was like, would you say that person is racist?
So, you know, right away, folks was like, who is he talking about, right? But then I get down into the comments, and this Rocket Raccoon up here on the top, this is what he says. Maybe wouldn't say they're racist. What? But they definitely have an inferior view of Black intellect, dignity, and worth. That's racist. So Pastor Scott comes back and said,
Bakar said, I didn't say you justify him. I mentioned him because Black people going off that comedian, but condone Chappelle mocking the ancestors. Yeah, I don't condone and mocking the ancestors, you know what I'm saying? I will say the only funny thing that I did like from him, like I've never been a Dave Chappelle fan myself, but the only thing I liked from him was the Chappelle show. I'm not gonna lie, that was funny, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, he be on that all the time, you know what I'm saying? And of course he got his Asian wife and stuff like that, you know. But this dude also is like, you know what I'm saying? But if you watch other stuff though, Bakari, you would be like, you know, you wouldn't even have said that because he'd be letting like white dudes call them like the N-word and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know. Well, I don't know. I guess I can't say that because they called him some kind of name and made racist jokes to him all the time. But, you know, I guess he likes that kind of stuff, but he don't say those kind of things. Like he would say certain jokes, but like he wouldn't dare be like Ashley Babbitt, you know what I'm saying? Ha ha ha, she should have, I would have shot that white bitch, you know what I'm saying? Even though he probably should have.
Is all racism isn't cruel. The attitude of superiority over another race because of color is racist. So the Rocket Raccoon comes back with this. Understood. I generally view racism from the systemic segregation traditional view, which is why I'm reluctant to label someone a racist. I don't even want to read no more of it.
Well, Carl, you must come from the traditional view too. Or no, you come from an orthodox view of racism.
Angel, a white woman, comes in and say, we shouldn't be judging on skin color, period. Kathy K comes in, another white woman, and says,
all right, yo, by the way, yo, I'm gonna stop messing with y'all, all right? But if y'all want to come and say something, y'all let me know. Is after this, we're gonna go off with something positive. The N-word is different today, you thought? Yeah, it's not different when they say it. I can tell you that right now, because they say it while they like, stop N-word, bow, bow, bow. You know what I'm saying? That's how they say it. But yeah, I mean, you show me where Black people is having picnics with the grandmas and getting together to murder a Black person while calling them.
That one.
But I'm not condoning that all the time. But it's not the same at all. You know what I'm saying? If you want, let them call you that.
Program. Cool. Kathy's like, no, we ain't playing none of these games. And Pastor Daryl Scott comes back and says, Charlie Kirk said it. I was there. I mean, that's no shocker to us. Ever since Charlie Kirk was backing Ted Cruz and Candace Owens, Trump and the Republicans ain't stuff he has to get off his chest.
You're talking about your girl Candace Owens,
he goes on further to tweet, I was out there taking bullets for Trump and the Republican Party, battling on CNN and MSNBC on our behalf when Carrie Lake was voting for Obama. Charlie Kirk was backing Ted Cruz, and Candace Owens was running an anti-Trump website talking.
He was like, I'm gonna stop that, but he was like, yeah, you better ask somebody. You better ask somebody about. So he laying out his coon resume. You know what I'm saying?
Charges of racism, and he did make another tweet. I've defended Trump and the Republican Party against charges of racism in heated exchanges since 2015 on CNN, MSNBC, PBS, etc. He was with Paris Denard, out there doing what Paris Denard was doing. I was watching him. I can attest to that. He goes on to say, I've argued with Al Sharpton, Don Lemon, Bakari Sellers, Angela Rye.
I thought you were about to say Bakari for a minute. You said Bakari Sellers, though. Okay. And I was like, damn, Bakari, you over there debating with him?
Tara Setmeyer, Bill Crystal, Anderson Cooper,
All right.
Brooke Baldwin.
So he's going down his
nobody
coon
gave
list.
him a chance to win. He's talking about this were made after Trump won.
All right. So y'all get the point. You know what I'm saying? So back to this dude, though. I want you to understand what happens the minute somebody who sold Bakari. All right, so I want you to see what happens. Now, he didn't laid out his clone resume, you know what I'm saying? But children, when you try to walk the line, you know what I'm saying, and play both sides of the fence, if you're going to go over there, you have to go all the way over there until they finish with you and they do whatever to you. But you have to be over there till the end. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't slip up a little bit. Like Candace Owens, she liked hip hop music. She liked the Dr. Dre in them Super Bowl thing last year, and she got in trouble, had to apologize. She let their blackness slip through. You know what I'm saying? You cannot. It's a full-time job. You know what I'm saying? And your grandchildren not gonna benefit at all. You know what I'm saying? Because they're just gonna get thrown back into the cycle with the rest of us. You know what I'm saying? After the first dude, the first coon. His grandchildren is amongst us now, and they might be even radical amongst us, but they are amongst us, you know what I'm saying? And they blended in because that selling out ain't get them nowhere. But anyway.
That I didn't realize how bad it was. Enter Pastor Daryl.
Segment featuring our SmackDown of the Week. Third runner-up for SmackDown of the Week is I'm going to give out a collective SmackDown to the grand old party, the Republican Party, because we have become the party of whining and whiners, man. We always whining about something.
You say he freed you? What you mean, Bakari? All right, but hear him finally slipping up. Now watch him have to this is him messing up. The blackness is slipping through. Like, see, y'all don't think this is caricatures. It doesn't make them dangerous, right? I mean, I'm saying, well, it doesn't make them not dangerous. They are dangerous. All right, I'm gonna put it that way. They are dangerous, but this is a caricature that they get paid to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether they mean it or not is irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? It's a caricature. And the minute that they mess up, and if you take this deal, the minute that you mess up, you're on the chopping blocks, you know what I'm saying?
That I didn't realize how bad it was. Enter Pastor Daryl.
Segment featuring our SmackDown of the Week.
Bakari Sellers, he freed you. Yeah, he bought you to free you.
Third runner-up for SmackDown of the Week is
But hey, I'm sorry. This is off the topic. I'm not going to interrupt it no more. But this is off the topic. But imagine this, y'all, especially brothers, right? Imagine this, right? During this time, and your wife bought you, you know what I'm saying, and got you and control your papers. She owns you, and then y'all get into an argument. You know what I'm saying? Like she go threaten to sell you down the river, bruh. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the threat of selling somebody. That was like one of the threats Black people used to do: sell you down the river, and you know, when they used to buy their loved ones. You know, and that was a story of a wife who got so mad at her husband that she sold him to a white neighbor, and then when she calmed down and went to go buy him back, the white neighbor wouldn't sell him back, you know what I'm saying, to him. But you know, that was a story. But anyway. Paris Denard, yeah.
Segment featuring our SmackDown of the Week. Third runner-up for SmackDown of the Week is I'm going to give out a collective SmackDown to the grand old party, the Republican Party, because we have become the party of whining and whiners, man. We always whining about something.
Now, don't a first rifleman always come on here crying about something, whining, you know what I'm saying, with the same old thing? It is true.
Whining and whiners, man. We always whining about something. And I'm being honest, I'm sick of all this whining. I'm sorry, I ain't built like that. Whining all the time. Y'all whine so much, y'all got me whining about us whining. They whined about Barbie.
Right.
Whining about DEI.
Barbie.
Whining about Bud Light beer.
Well, I'm whining about DIE, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what it's going to be for us. But that's...
Whine about Bud Light beer. Whine about the Super Bowl and who's playing it. Whine about the song being sung in the Super Bowl. And now...
My brother Anthony said he wanted to go cry about it with Van Jones.
Whine about Bud Light beer. Whine about the Super Bowl and who's playing it. Whine about the song being sung in the Super Bowl. And now the latest whine of the week, the existential crisis to the fabric of American society. They whining about Taylor Swift, man.
Well, geez, Pastor, this right here ain't what the hell you were saying in your Twitter feed.
Uh-oh, what happens when you get off call? If you... Like, you know, I was making fun of First Rifleman. We was talking about that other dude who used to be a clone. Now he be trolling them. He could be a grifter too, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. But the thing is, right, he saw, because he said, okay, yeah, well, charge the people with George Floyd because, yeah, that is egregious. And they flipped on him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he got his wake-up call. I guess he still trolls them now. I don't know. But the thing is, you know, when you do that, there is no survival, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's the end of the road, you know what I'm saying? And the minute that, because this dude said, yo, I'm out there, I'm doing all of this stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, who is capable for Trump harder than me? You know what I'm saying? God bless Trump, you know what I'm saying? But in the minute that he said, man, stop crying about Barbie, the Black National, ain't nobody talking, we don't even call it the Black National Anthem, but that's what they have to do. And they're so uncreative that they have to wait for us to come up with a new terminology like woke. People don't really even be saying woke anymore, but they caught on to that from a few years ago, like they do with all our stuff. And since they're unoriginal, they just have to be anti whatever we come up with, you know what I'm saying? But when you on that side of the fence, that's what happened to you.
Guys, I'm showing you guys the tweets from Mr. Scott. I got into it with him over this past couple of days. I've had a little bit of fun with this, exposing this guy for who the hell he is. As a matter of fact, most of the people who followed him pretty much got a pretty good glimpse of who this guy really and truly is. It says that he is a minister. It says he is an advisor to the former president, the current Republican nominee, Donald Trump. And if I was Trump, I would kick this guy off my campaign right away. The truth be told about Darrell Scott is this way. The only reason why he even got himself attached to the Trump team is because Trump promised to remove the tax provisions on the church, which I understand and agree with the former president on. He thought was kind of jacked up at the church.
Damn, they taxing the churches now? Damn, the Democrats taxing the churches? Goddamn. Well, it ain't like we using them anyway, so.
Was being taxed. Darrell Scott's been with him ever since, and you probably think, okay, maybe he really and truly is loyal to this writer. But then this same guy also got upset with us and people who were calling up the Black National Anthem fiasco, basically saying, look, you know, you're already under one flag. You don't need another anthem. You don't need to call it an anthem. Of course, he originally said it was a hymn, and of course, people took it out of context. But still, at the same time, though, maybe you should kind of help out with us, maybe join us in calling out the mainstream media for calling, because it's really the mainstream media.
You see, this is what they be telling them behind closed doors, right? Like, maybe you should, like, you off, like, you need to be telling them Negroes this, like, this is what they be telling them, but they be offering, like, money with it.
And of course, people took it out of context, but still at the same time, though, maybe you should kind of help out with us, maybe join us in calling out the mainstream media for calling, because it's really the mainstream media that call it the Black National Anthem. It's really the NFL who was using it to help divide the nation. Okay, people obviously saw how divisive it was, and people obviously called it out for the nonsense that it was. Maybe you should actually help out with that. But then when you say something like what I'm showing you now, of course, this was a response to him posting something about Confederate flags. Then these people typically tend to show you who they really and truly are. And if I didn't say this,
so if you be like, yo, Confederate flag means something racist. By the way, I let this
already with somebody bringing up Confederate flags, you're not a slave anymore. Okay, you're not a slave anymore.
All right,
okay, you're part of the 100%. maybe you should kind of accept that. Stop trying to act like you're your own. Okay, you're a part of America.
Stop trying to act like you're your own. You're a part of America, boy.
American society. The national anthem covers everybody. And once again, you're not a slave anymore. So two things happen in this exchange.
Like I said, it does cover you. It said that they're gonna kill you if you if you're thinking about defecting from America. They're gonna kill you. That's the part you in.
Number one, I got called a racist. Okay, I kind of expected that anyways. Number two, obviously the Confederate flags. Guys, I'm from the South. Okay, I've been around Confederate culture, Civil War history my entire life. I've told you guys before, I don't believe the statue should be taken down unless maybe it's something like, say, in Iowa, where you had a satanic statue up in a building that quite frankly doesn't need to be up in. Maybe that right there is a case where, hey, look, maybe
is white Jesus a satanic figure? That's the question I have for the chat. Is white Jesus a satanic figure?
You should remove that one, but I don't think statues should be removed. I mean, I had a lot of people talk about the whole Joe Paterno issue. I remember when that was, the whole Jerry Sandusky stuff. Even in that case there, I was not okay with statues being removed at Penn State because you can't change what happened there. Same thing happens with Confederate statues. You can't change.
So yeah,
what happened there? Battles were fought. Things happen. It's designed. You look at it. Look, this is where we came from.
What else you talking about, boy? It's one flag for all of America, boy. We ain't got time for no other Confederate flag, boy. But you see how quick they be on some treason and stuff to even America, faster than black people. That's the amazing part. They would be treasonous against America that's designed to protect them faster than black people when it's designed to it runs off of our bloodshed. It's like an economy to enslave us, to get us labor, our death, our health, poor health, like black women's health, black men's health and labor and strength. It's an economy to keep us, murdering us is an economy. You know what I'm saying? Slowly or fast, So, but they would be treasonous against America before we would. That's kind of weird.
We'll do a bigger video on this at a later date. But the thing is this right here. Confederate flags, black national anthem. I think it's apples to oranges for most.
Well, it's one flag, boy.
First of all, we don't put Confederate flags up at schools. We don't put them up at churches or whatnot. We don't typically have them in places of.
They're at state houses and stuff like that. And I would, like I said before, you know what I'm saying? If you lost a war, do you still get to fly your flag at a state building, especially like a courthouse?
Business. Some people have them obviously for memorabilia purposes, and me, of course, being from the South, which, by the way, if I get a chance to collect some rare memorabilia, I have a thick American flag. I have at least 2 or 3 other American flags. I also have an American flag with
all right.
We're just simply calling out the BS, and you're over here playing right into the BS. You need to be on.
All right, that's enough of this. You know what? I'm gonna say I'm gonna do something positive, but I ain't got long. I guess I shouldn't do this because I don't got long. But if y'all wanted to, I talked a lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying, and I said a lot of stuff about a lot of people, and I understand that I am right. Y'all may understand that I am right by now. I'm just messing with y'all. But if y'all have something to say, y'all can defend it, you know what I'm saying? And really, I guess, especially, I said something about Bakari. I said something about Oni Matron. Now, Matron is y'all only chance, so I wouldn't come up here unless she's up here because she's the only one that could save y'all. But she can't save y'all either because she'll probably convert to what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? Especially about anyway, it's politics as usual, you know what I'm saying? And Bakari, they don't want to tell you you wrong, Bakari, but I'm gonna tell you because I love you, my brother, and you my brother, so I'm gonna tell you when you wrong, you know what I'm saying? And so I will do that, but I'm gonna go out with something positive because likely nobody's gonna come on here because I am probably right. You know what I'm saying? Most likely. It's like a 98.6% chance that I am right. All right. So now it's freezing up. All right, let me bring this up. If it comes up, I'm gonna go out with something. Oh yeah, damn, that's not even positive, but it was kind of funny and it's kind of fitting. Everything that I say, my brother, I'm right about everything that I say about y'all dictators, about, you know what I'm saying? Thank you, Cassidra. Damn, I don't know why it's like it's not coming up no more. What the hell is going on? But yeah, I mean, Matron is y'all only hope, but I don't think that she's gonna come and save y'all tonight. So if I was y'all, I wouldn't do it. And I don't think that she can save y'all anyway, because like I said, there's a 98.6% chance that I am right about what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? I hope that I'm wrong though. You know what I'm saying? Even all right, so let me get to this part. Let me see. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna go out because I understand. I am right. I'm gonna just take it that I'm right, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm gonna just go out with this, right? So check this, just check this fools out, you know what I'm saying? It's just more signs that we don't get it.
Lady, do you know what month it is? If you go to your calendar right now, you will see that it is BHM Black History Month. Why would we post this? Even if you didn't mean any harm by it, you got to be more aware. Like,
oh, by the way, they're talking about white bitches selling their black boyfriends. You know what I'm saying? It happened before, but this is another one where they making jokes and these fools just sitting there.
Cooks and cleans on sale. What do you mean on sale? Was that Kelly Price playing in the background? Kelford Price? Is that not on purpose? That's crazy, bro. We are seeing the 1850s TikTok shop before GTA 6, man. What have we done? What is happening to our world? And there's more. Does that just say $3.99? Brother, open your eyes. I will come and save you. She's selling you for the price of a Ghost Energy drink. I'll save you. I don't even care if they meant no harm by it. You got to know what month it is. You could do this in March, maybe. But $3.99, bro, you gotta up the. Whoa, that's crazy to say.
All right. I'm gonna say something. Let me see. All right, yeah, okay. Yeah, I got you on our new anthem. I gotta play something positive, y'all. I gotta play something positive before we go off though, and then I'm gonna play our anthem. And I apologize beforehand for anybody who gets offended by like cursing and stuff. Not in this video.
You've had attitudes. Take a step right here and punch you, Daniel. Whoa. Okay, let's call the police. Let's call the police. Let's call the police right now.
All right, one more time.
Come on back.
And the white bitch coming back there, you know. This is the language that sometimes people understand. When we be like, oh, well, you know, well, the degree of, you know, racism goes beyond generational effects to where, you know, the prison industrial complex comes from the system of slavery, which you see trickles down into our school system today, and then you call it like, no. This is the language that sometimes is the only thing that can be understood.
Daniel, come on back. You've had attitudes. Take a step right here and punch you, Daniel. Whoa. Okay, let's call the police. Let's call the police.
I'm sorry, that was too quick. My bad. One more time.
Dead in your face. Come on, baby. You've had attitudes. Take a step right here and punch you dead in your Okay, let's call the police. Let's call
Yo, and y'all notice that every single time they like it goes on, it could go on for hours while the white person is in, or the white or whatever you call them, is antagonizing the black person. And the second that the black person fist connects with their face, then everybody, oh, wait a minute now, wait, let's break this up now. Like, do you understand? So maybe if on a grand scale, your fist is connecting to your face, maybe they'll back up then. I don't know. One more time. And then we're going to go out with the national anthem.
dead in your face. Come on, baby. You've had
Other than
attitudes.
jokes.
Take a step right here and punch you dead in your Okay, let's call the police. Let's call the police. Let's call the police right now.
All right, yeah, call the police. All right, so let me say this because a lot of y'all might leave. Shouts out to my brother Anthony. Shouts out to Raw. I appreciate it, Raw. Appreciate it, my brother Anthony. Yeah, you listened to the whole album today. Yo, the brother was going in. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to Casidra Realm in the Bush. Make sure y'all subscribe to Realm in the Bush. I appreciate Casidra coming through. My brother Bakari, subscribe to Bakari. I appreciate it, my brother. Oni, I appreciate you coming through. Matron was in the building. I appreciate you, Matron. Let me see. Y'all subscribe to Matron. She coming back Monday. I don't know what the new book is going to be, but I'll place my vote. Y'all go to Matron's channel so y'all can vote on the next book that she's going to read. And y'all subscribe for the next reading too. Shouts out to my brother Bell Gates. It's been a minute, my brother. I appreciate it. It's the only thing they understand, Raw. You know what I'm saying? If only we understood, then we don't understand it. We get smacked in the face and still don't understand. And then they don't understand until we smack them back in the face. It's funny. But that's politics as usual. You know what I'm saying? I know Bakari ran tonight. Oni ran tonight. Matron, I ain't gonna say Matron ran, you know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying? she just didn't. But no, I'm just messing with y'all. I'm just playing. But y'all, you know what? Let's have to do this. Let me pull it up. Let me pull up the national anthem. I ain't even have it ready yet. My bad, y'all. But it's okay. I'm gonna just assume that I'm right, you know what I'm saying? And we just gonna get it in. All right, and let me say this also, you know, I apologize, you know what I'm saying, for the lyrics. It may not be for everybody, but, you know, it is what it is. Shouts out, my brother. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I got to play this one. Let me see.
Had heard of Islam. This government and its practices against black people, facts that they've been stating against this government and its practices against black people in this country, why I'd rather be dead than to integrate into a society like that. Now, if that is racism, then I'll take the racism. If it's racism to know who my enemy is, if it's racism to know that I'm catching hell from white America, that is condoned and sanctioned and backed and supported by a white government, if that's racism, well, I'll take racism above democracy and Americanism and any other kind of ism you can hand me.
All facts. All right, here we go, y'all. This is my nomination for the Black National Anthem.
High tonight. High tonight. High tonight. I'm at the house on the couch and I'm trying to relax. A wet towel on my neck because I'm having a flashback. Visions in my mind about the white folks I done away. I just killed a cracker and his kids the other day. He was in my neighborhood walking with his children. I hate the motherfuckers. I figure I kill them to take out some anger that's been trapped inside of me. From slavery, years of the white man oppressing me. I stuck up on his ass, fast to attack. I put on my shank, I stuck a heart to his back. I said, move, motherfucker, and I stick you with the quickness. And you'll be found in the bushes, dickless. He said, I got a wife and kids, I don't give a fuck. Hurry up and give me your money before you get stuck. He made a move too fast. I'm an Ansel Muhammad, so with the quickness, I stuck his ass 5 times. His guts feel like chitlins. I emptied his pockets and I went after his children. The little white bitch was crying for fear. I put my knife to her throat and cut her devil ass ear to ear. She had a brother, 4 years old. Well, he ain't gonna make 5 because he ain't alive no more. I'm drenched in blood, I had to cut, kept my knife in my hand, walked away like a nut. I seen a roller, ghetto patroller, hit the corner. He flashed a light on me, he said, freezer, you're a goner. Something clicked in my mind, run as fast as you can. I had a gun in my pocket, a bloody knife in my hand. So I broke to the left up on the side of the house. I put my knife away, that's when I pulled my gun out. Looked around the house, the cop was calling for backup. My pistol popped, the cop dropped and shot him in the back of the head. Now that's 4 motherfuckers dead, laying in a puddle of red. I said, all the Peckerwoods better hide tonight, hide tonight, hide tonight. All the Peckerwoods better hide tonight, hide tonight, hide tonight. I had to get to my house, I knew his backup was coming. I walked over to the pig, I took his gun and started running down a motherfucking dark ass back streets. I know they gon' be after me, trying to capture me, and I know I gotta get away. If I don't, they gonna lock me up in CYA. So I'm thinking of a plan. I don't wanna be in the pen for killing a policeman and some motherfucking white folks. I seen a white bitch coming out of the house, I grabbed her ass by the throat. Said we going back in your house, and if you open up the mouth, I'll blow your goddamn brains out. We got into a house, she said, are you gonna kill me? Is this a stick up? Do you want my money? I pulled out my gun, the hoe said please. I shot her in the chest and took a goddamn car keys. Walked outside, jumped in a Trans Am, wondering if the police know who I am. I'm halfway to the house, I seen a motherfucking cop. Now he's behind me, telling me to stop. I thought to myself, I should've shot her in the head. She lived long enough to call her goddamn feds. Now I'm in the high-speed car chase, so race, I better pick up the motherfucking pace. Cause if I get snatched, if I let them catch me, they slam me on my back, you know, kick me in my face, G. But I'm not taking that bullshit. Them motherfucking devils don't know who they fucking with. I'm a motherfucking psycho, and police is people I don't like, so I'm not stopping. I keep smashing. The car is stolen, I don't care about crashing. I hit a corner, doing 90, I lost control. I hit a pole, but I bounced. They couldn't find me. You know that I got away. I chilled on the under at the house until the next day. In the morning, in the paper was a warning. It said, if you're white, you better hide tonight. It said, all the Peckerwoods better hide tonight, hide tonight, hide tonight. All the Peckerwoods better hide tonight, hide tonight. I'm at the house, I turned on the tube to watch the news. The reporter said 5 white folks found dead the night before last, and a suspect got away in a car crash. They couldn't place no positive identity, so that tells me I got away scot-free. I'm gonna pull another move tonight, cause I don't feel right without blood on my knife. I turned off the TV, I got dressed in my black, I put my knife in my sack, I got 2 clips from my dad. Walked outside, jumped in my ride, I had a full tank of gas, so I spotted off fast. I stopped at the liquor store, got a half pint of Hindu, thinking who I'm gonna put my knife into. The time is approximately 11:33. I'm gonna go to Berkeley and kill me a hippie. So now I'm on the freeway, all by myself, so I let the tape play. And I'm bumping that crazy shit by the ghetto boys, the mind of a lunatic, and it's getting me pumped. I keep hitting the drink, so I'm getting kinda drunk. It's something about the Trinity that gives me the tendency to wanna tear everything away off your back, cut you fast from your throat to the crack of your ass. From the throat to the crack of your ass. I read the sign that said Berkeley a half a mile. I started to smile and I kept on drinking, thinking in my mind about white folks screaming. I saw another sign and I checked it. It said Berkeley, the next exit. It seemed like a second when the exit came. Turned on my blinkers and switched the lane. I got off the freeway bumping Ice Cube. Pump cause I'm drunk now, I'm looking for a double do. rolling down a back street side. Slow down, I saw two white freaks and they looking like witch. Now I'm thinking in my mind how much I like to kill white bitch. So then I jumped out, put my gun, would try to run, so I took the devil ass out. Told her to lay face down on the ground and don't make a motherfucking sound. I pulled out my knife, I kicked the hoe in the head, then I stabbed her in the back twice, but I still ain't satisfied. So I said, fuck this, jumped in the cutlass, cause I'ma make all the Peckerwoods hide. Make them all hide. I said all the Peckerwoods better hide tonight, hide tonight, hide tonight. All the Peckerwoods better hide tonight, hide tonight, hide tonight. Locked in the jail cause the white man got me. Fuck a Peckerwood, fuck a Peckerwood. I'm locked in the jail cause the white man got me. Fuck a Peckerwood, fuck a Peckerwood. I went to court and the judge detained me. Fuck a Peckerwood, fuck a Peckerwood. When I see a Peckerwood, they gonna have to restrain me. Fuck a Peckerwood, fuck a Peckerwood. Hide tonight, hide tonight, hide tonight. Hide tonight, hide tonight, hide tonight. When I think of hide, hide tonight, hide tonight. Hide tonight, hide tonight, hide tonight.
All right, yeah. So there you go for your hip hop task force. You know what I'm saying? There you can study that song and see what's up. You know what I'm saying? But as always, man, we have got to start standing for something, or we're gonna keep falling for anything.